You know, I was thinking today, if Bernie Sanders was the United States Senator from New York, I wouldn't be in this race. And there's a great contrast between Bernie Sanders, the ethics of Bernie Sanders, the vision of Bernie Sanders versus my opponent who has no vision and has no principles. Bernie Sanders is pushing today, this very moment, an amendment to this whole financial reform package that would give Congress the power to audit the Federal Reserve Board. Now, you think that would be a no-brainer, that Congress would have the power to look into the files of the Federal Reserve Board and see where it was distributing, for example, the $1 trillion, the hundreds of billions of dollars that it's been handing out to the banks. Well, the Federal Reserve Board has basically put up a blockade to getting that information to our elected representatives. So Bernie Sanders is pushing this amendment, which I support very strongly. He has actually bipartisan support, but my opponent, Kirsten Gillibrand, has not declared her support for this. That shouldn't surprise anybody. After all, she's the #1 recipient among Democratic senators of Goldman Sachs cash, corrupting cash, and she is pocketing tons of money from banks. Just the other day, she held a fundraiser on Park Avenue, which essentially was a ticket to corruption. It was a way for banks and financial services industries to buy her vote. So there's the contrast. Bernie Sanders, who knows who he stands for, protecting the people, making sure that the powerful institutions are responsive to us and to our elected representatives, versus my opponent, whose only goal is to be elected no matter what, has no principles, and is essentially being bought by the banks and the financial services industry. Hey Bernie, come on down to New York.